Welcome to the B2B Marketing Excellence and AI podcast, where we help industrial brands grow those deep relationships that will help their businesses grow into the future. I'm Donna Peterson, and today we're talking about getting as much value as possible out of a transcript. You're on a call, an interview, a cold call, and then after the call, you have a transcript. How can that help you build those bigger, deeper relationships with people that will grow your business into the future? This is what we're going to talk about. I recently was at a trade show and I was speaking about leveraging AI. And before the session began, I always like to ask, why did you come to this session? What are you hoping to learn? One gentleman said he was looking for some note-taking apps, if I could recommend some note-taking apps that were leveraging AI. And I told him, to be honest, I use Zoom a lot to record our calls, and then my clients have different note-taking apps. After the session, I did go and do a deep research of 5 different note-taking apps, trying to figure out which one would be best for what this gentleman was looking at doing. And Otter AI came out as the best one for them to try. And when we were talking about these note-taking apps, we were saying, like, the best thing about note-taking apps is that no longer is your head down trying to take notes that you won't miss anything. You're able to actually be present in the conversation and watching the individuals, watching their eyes, watching their hands. Are they looking away? Are they talking to somebody else? You need to be able to see those things, because that's when you can truly understand what is going on in between the words, like read between the lines. You're understanding what's going on between the lines so that you can get a full picture of this individual, what they're interested in, what they need, what they're looking for, and how you can possibly help them. So transcripts are more than just a recording. They can reveal the tone, the intent, what people really care about. And also, the transcripts can show you, how do these people like to be communicated to? All this information is so important because this will help you figure out what type of communications you need to do into the future. What I did is I took an interview I did a few weeks ago with Matthew McClosky. It was one of our previous podcast episodes. I took the transcript and I put it into AI. I wanted to know from AI, what is Matthew's communication style? What is he passionate about? What are his preferences? And it was so interesting, the insight. Of course, they came back telling me that he is extremely passionate about AI and how AI can save time. He likes his messages to be clear and direct. He doesn't want the fluff. He wants to know exactly how it can help him. And it showed also that he's caring, that the things he wants to do is to help to support his team. The other thing I asked it, and I found this funny, is I said, can you tell me something about Matthew McClosky I may not know? And it came back with this deep insight, and I'm going to read this to you right now. It says, Matthew is a system thinker with deep respect for process. While many people talk about AI in terms of cool tools or saving time, Matthew sees it as a part of a larger ecosystem of growth, accountability, and repeatability. He's not just using AI to do tasks. He's building sustainable systems that will eliminate repetitive friction, enhance team collaboration, preserve institutional knowledge, and drive measurable business outcome. It's evident when he talks, taking his director of sales GPT as a mentor, which he has out on the GPT store site. He uses GPTs to keep the CRM cleaned and aligned. And he's also created a GPT for his personal use having to do with senior care. So we got a lot from his transcript and more information than I even knew about Matthew, and I've known him for many years. But it gives me an insight into what is truly of importance to him. And now my communications to him can be deeper than they were before. Our relationship has gotten deeper from this understanding. And that's what you can learn when you analyze these transcripts. When you bring in these transcripts, besides knowing these details, AI can analyze the tone of the individual. Are they excited? Are they frustrated? Are they curious? Why that's important is if you're on a cold call with a prospect, at the beginning of a cold call, usually people are kind of cold. They're wondering whether this was worth their time. Gosh, I would have rather have gone for a cup of coffee than be on this call. So they're kind of cold and standoffish. But you can feel the warmth sometimes when you're talking, when they start to realize, oh my goodness, they really can help me. So AI can sense that tone. And you can ask AI, was this person really warming up to what we have to offer? Is this someone I should continue to follow up with? That gives us great insights because now we're not going to waste time on individuals that will never be interested in what we have to offer. You also are able to figure out what are their values, what's important to them. Are they looking for efficiency, accuracy? What is it they're most interested in? And then also, what is the preference of getting their information? Do they want it to be concise? Do they want to look at that big, larger picture? Do they like bullets so it's very detailed oriented? Using these insights can help you build those relationships deeper. I always talk about building relationships, but you want to go as deep as possible because that's how you're building the trust. And the deeper your relationship is, the more trust there is. And when you have the trust, when they are ready to buy, they're going to buy from you over your competition because they trust you. And if you continue to work on deepening this relationship after they have bought from you and they're a customer, that's when you're going to have loyal customers and loyal advocates that will go out and talk about your brand. AI can start to help you on how to speak to your customers, to your prospects, even to your employees. You can almost set it up where you could do a character playing with AI. So they've done the transcript, and now you can say, okay, I've got to do a follow-up call to these people. How do you think the call should go? And AI will give you an outline of how you should make the call go. Or you're going to follow up with an email. What would be a good follow-up email to this individual? You saw what's important to them. Would they like to see a video versus a lengthy blog? What type of information should I give them, bullet points or long paragraphs? You can get this detailed information, and now you're able to give the individual information that will resonate to them because you're communicating to them in a way they like to be communicated to. I learned this when I was in Toastmasters. It was the first time I really ever learned it, about understanding your audience and their communication style. My husband and I, we work together. And I work out every morning. So when I come into work and I'm ready to get down, I usually have a ton of thoughts going through my head. And I'll come in and start to speak to him like, we got to do this, 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 and this. And for a while, I would get so annoyed because he wouldn't implement every single thing I threw at him. And through Toastmasters, I realized it was because I was communicating to him in the way I like to get information. You want something from me? give it to me. Boom, 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 boom. I'll get it done. My husband likes to look at that full picture. Why are we doing this? How is this moving the business needle? He's not going to jump in and start doing something unless he understands the value behind it, what work it's going to take to get it all implemented. I'm not saying one way is better than the other. I'm just saying we all have different communication styles, and we have to understand our audience and communicate to them in a way that resonates with them. That's how you're able to give them exactly what they want. That is how you can help develop those relationships that instill trust. And this is where we are going to get those deep relationships of loyal customers. So the big takeaways for today: use those transcripts more than just catching all the words that people say, but use the transcripts to analyze it, understand the tone, get a roadmap that will help build the trust. When you understand these transcripts, the words, the tone, their eyes, their hand gestures, now you're starting to get that complete picture of the individual and what works for them. You can't just speak to people the way you like to be spoken to. You have to be thinking about the others. It's what I say to my clients right now. You want to get customers, speak to them, give them what they need. The sales will come, but if you spend time educating, giving them helpful tips of information, they will come to you. So take that information, analyze it through AI. Do me a favor. In the next week, when you get a transcript, throw it into AI. Ask these questions. What is something I don't know about the individual? What is their tone? What do you think they'd like to receive next? How can I change that email to be something that will resonate with them? And then come back, share it with me. Share it with me at dpeterson@worldinnovators.com. I'm interested to see what kind of insights you get and how you're able to take those insights, tweak them so that your messaging, sales or marketing or corporate management help you get a better response. Reach out to me. We're here to inspire success. Until next week, I hope you all have a successful week. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the World Innovators B2B Marketing Excellence and AI podcast. If you'd like to be updated when new episodes come out, don't forget to subscribe. Also, check out our social media accounts to stay up to date on B2B marketing trends.